up everyone? My name is Morsi, and if you're new to this channel, I encourage others to live with effortless ease. And today, I would like to remind you all that the world is not ending. We're just waking up. We are becoming aware of what always existed. And now it's all coming into the light. And for many, it's overwhelming. For others, it's like, I knew that. Glad you see it. What I feel like in this moment, it's almost like I think of my own individual awakening, right? If you think about yourself, you go through awakening and you want to share what you learned with your friends and with your family. And then they look at you weird. They're just like, yeah, okay, they brush it off, they dismiss you. You feel like some sort of outcast, some sort of loony. But then all of a sudden, when they come to it themselves on their terms, they were just like, oh my gosh, you said this before. And you're just like, yeah, I know. So what's happening here is an awakening. And what happens with life, right? We've spoken about this before in a couple of videos, is that life is constantly going through cycles of life and death, and that happens on an individual level and on a collective level. And right now, we are all feeling this huge shift at a collective level. And it feels as though the world is ending. When you think about your own experience, when you are feeling yourself transforming, you feel like you're at a low. Everything in your life is crumbling. It's falling, it's collapsing. Everything you thought you once knew is not what you thought. You are having a whole new perspective of life. And it feels like the end. It feels like you have no idea what to do. But truly, life is just making room for something new to come. It's making space for something new to come through. You know, when I like to look at today's current events in terms of my own personal challenges, so it's easier for me to step back and perceive everything, because I feel like throughout my journey, I feel like I've done a pretty good job with being able to remain still, observe my thoughts, observe my present moment, and not fall into those low vibrations, not fall into those thoughts. And so I like to look at today's current events in the same way and say, you know what, I do see a lot going on social media. And when I say this specifically, you know, there's a lot of content going around about the riots and about police brutality. And we're seeing all of this. We're constantly in front of this, getting pulled in. All of it is sucking in our energy, and all it's doing is proliferating, right? In the last video that I made, and I'll put a link right here, I spoke about pendulums, right? Pendulums are this very large thought structure. It's an independent entity, and it is created by the thoughts of other people, right? So all these people have a thought, boom, it's its own entity. And now anytime someone thinks those same thoughts, it begins to draw in your energy. And it gives you back very little. It gives you this sense of, you think what is awareness in return for all of your energy. And I'm not saying that, you know, you should not be aware of these things. I'm not saying that you should be ignorant to what is happening, because let's be honest, to be present means to be fully aware of what is, what reality is showing you, right? To be fully aware of it. That's why we observe our thoughts. That's why we accept every single thought that comes through our mind. We're accepting it and giving it space. We're not saying it's right or it's wrong. We are acknowledging its existence and we're allowing it to be there, right? That's a part of the process, and that's the same thing as the current events that are happening right now. You know, your current purpose for this time is to be aware, accept that it's happening so that you don't find yourself feeling this confliction and adding more pain, more suffering onto what's already happening, you know? We're already feeling pain from seeing hurt from our human brothers and sisters, the pain that we're seeing, we're already feeling that. Why add another layer of suffering on if you don't have to, right? Acknowledge that so that you can stay level-headed, clear-headed, and feel a sense of inner peace so that you can expand your mind. So you can expand your mind. At least think about doing it for those who aren't. You know, someone's got to stay clear-headed through all of this. Someone's got to make sure that they're not falling into this movement, this direction of where this collective thought energy is taking everyone, right? That's why it's so important not to be so dependent on the media. The media wants us to see things specific to their agenda. And, you know, this is not at all something that I think you should be afraid of. As long as you're aware, you're good. Your awareness is your greatest protection. So as long as you know that the media has an agenda, you're good, because you're aware enough to not fall into it, to not step into it, right? The world isn't ending. We're all just waking up. And your goal during this time should be approach, not avoidance. Not to run away from what reality is trying to show you, because what you're running away from is the idea of reality, is your story of reality. Remember, reality is much kinder, much benign, much gentler than you think it is. You know, make room within your mind for a new perspective that gives you peace, that gives you joy, that helps you understand that you are okay. And that as long as you're willing to accept reality and flow with reality and be on this ride with reality and experience the human experience, you are okay. Accept what this moment is giving you. Put out an intention and watch how it comes back to you through synchronicity, through signs. That's what I've been doing this whole time. I've been putting out a question and it comes back to me. I have this little rule. I say, anytime I put out a question, it comes back to me in less than 24 hours. You can say it comes back to you in less than an hour. You can say it comes back to you instantly. That's how the universe works. That's how life works. What you focus on, you shift to the reality where that exists. So as long as you make room within your mind, within yourself, make space to say, there's a perspective that's going to give me peace during this time, that will allow me to allow the events of what life is showing us to unfold. It's all about this moment. It's all about the present moment and making your present moment primary. So shift your focus. My name is Morsi. If you enjoyed this video, check out the 2 on the screen. Until next time, peace.